Hello everybody, it's me Alicia. So do you remember I opened up the Urban Glitz Fashions bead box? Well, I've been playing with the stuff that I got from that box. First I made this giant crystal ball. It can't be used for jewelry because it's way too big and it's so heavy. I don't know how much it weighs, but it feels like a pound to me. It's really cool. It's so sparkly. I haven't finished it yet because I'm not sure if I want to hang it. I was thinking that I could just, knot it off and cut the monofilament, but then I thought, what if I could hang it from something in my bedroom? Maybe a lamp or something, because I love how it sparkles. It's really pretty. So I'm not sure if I'm going to just knot this off and let it sit on my desk as a decoration, or if I should turn it into something that hangs. So that's one thing I made. And then I wanted to use this really cool wire that's from the box, or not wire, it's a cording. I say wire because at first I thought that this was a wire mesh on this cording, but there's a rubber cording inside, but it wasn't. When I went to go use it, I actually discovered that it's a thread. It's a gold thread over top of the rubber tubing. So I wanted to do something really simple with it, and so I only had 6 of these Rondelle beads left, the clear ones from doing that ball. So I put them in here, and I also wanted to use this really pretty bead there. I loved how it looked. And these beads here were also in the box. I actually glued them onto the ends of this to prevent the ends from unraveling, and also I wanted to make it look really pretty, and to finish the ends off I glued those beads on there with E6000 glue. And the only thing in this bracelet that's mine are the gold jump rings right there. I think they're 8mm. I decided to put those in there because without them I just had the silver here, and I do have gold here, but I thought that putting the jump rings there would really make that bead look even better, so I went and did that. So I played with this cording, and I, got to see what it's like because I never played with it before. And so I've come up with this idea to make a bracelet using this connector thing here that goes on the end of this cord. And by the way, I already glued one end on because, I don't have a lot of time to work here. I need one end to be dry, so I will probably be gluing the other end in the video. So I have my 2 cords here glued into the end, and I'm going to do some bead weaving using 3 of the beads that came in the box. And I'm going to make this really neat looking beaded thing that's going to slide onto both of these cords. And it's going to be a really cool bracelet. So I'm going to show you everything you need, and then we'll get started. Here is a list of materials that you will need to make a bracelet. And by the way, this is the glam box that I got from the Urban Glitz Fashions bead box, the glam box. Okay, so first you're going to need 4mm rope cloth cord metallic gold, that's this here. You're also going to need 4 feet of 10-pound monofilament. I already went ahead and cut mine off the spool. You will also need 8 by 6mm Rondelle beads, 3 by 2mm Rondelle beads, 3.5mm metallic gold spacer beads. They're like a disc shape. You're also going to need a hook clasp right here. This is what our cord is going to go into. And you will also need E6000 glue. This is to glue our cord into the clasp. Now I'm also using Tacky glue, and you're probably like, what the heck are you using that for? When I go to cut the cord, it unravels because it's thread. So I put this on the cord before I cut it. I measure my cord, I find out where I need to cut it at, and I put a little bit on the cord, and I, smooth it around the cord. I let it dry, and then when I cut it, it prevents the thread from unraveling. So if this gets wet, of course it's going to rinse off, but when we glue this into here, into our binding, it's not going to rinse off with E6000. So this is basically just to help us keep the cord from unraveling. And after you cut the cord, when you're done, like here's my leftover cord. I made sure that I glued the ends with the Tacky glue, because if I didn't, I were just to put it away, it would unravel. So gluing the ends prevents the cord from unraveling, so you can use it later. So anyways, this is the list of materials, and remember, always put the list down there in the description bar, and also I'm going to put the link for the Urban Glitz bead box. Okay, so I forgot to color the ends of my monofilament because I have a lot going on today. This is actually my second video today, and it's getting really late. So, I don't think it's going to be a big deal though, because you're going to be able to see what I'm doing. It's pretty easy. So you want to start by taking your monofilament and running it fast between your fingers. What it does is it heatens it up like a straightening iron for hair, and it makes it a lot easier to work with because it's all coiled up. So the first thing I'm going to do is pick up this little rondelle. I'm going to do one of those, my metallic spacer bead, okay, and then I'm going to do 4 rondelles. There's 3, here's 4, okay, and then I'm going to do another spacer bead, and then another rondelle, and I'll pick this up so you can see the pattern. That's what I have, okay? So I'm going to let that slide down. I'm going to pick up one of these beads, and I'm going to crisscross my ends through this one bead. Okay, I'm going to put my ends together. I'm going to grab this bead and slide it all the way down. I got caught in my knob again on my desk. I'm going to have to take that knob off or something. Okay, slide this down. And now you have this circle. So you can see that I have 3 rondelles on this side. Then I have the spacers breaking up, and I have 4 rondelles on that side. This is what we want, okay? Now I'm going to take one of my strings, it does not matter which, and I'm going to pick up that same bead pattern again. I'm going to pick up 1 rondelle, the small one, a spacer, 4 of these rondelles, slide those down, a spacer, and a rondelle. Okay, it's the same pattern as I had the first time, but this time we're going to pass through this bead that we're crisscrossing through right here. Okay, so I'm using this string, okay, so I have to make a circle and go through this bead, so when I pull it I should have a figure 8 just like that. Okay, so now you could see why I had 3 beads there, because I have a middle one I'm crossing through. So now when you're looking at it, I have 5 red beads here. Then I have my spacer beads breaking up, and I have 4 on this side and 4 on that side. Okay, so now what we're going to do, pull this snug, we're going to take both ends and pick up our blue rondelle, 1 on each end. Slide it down, okay, so you should have this, and then I'm going to pick up a rondelle, and I'm going to crisscross my ends through it like that. Okay, so now you should have this. Now what I'm going to do is take one of my strings, it does not matter which, because we're going to do this to both ends, and I'm going to pick up a rondelle, this gold spacer, 4 rondelles, there's 3, 4, I need another gold spacer, and a rondelle. Okay, I just picked up my pattern, there it is. I'm now going to slide these down, and you can see they're right here on this side. So I'm going to take my string and I'm going to pass through this hole. Okay, and pull the string tight, and as you can see it's loose right there for me. So if I put my finger in here, tighten it up like this, and then pull this, it helps with that problem, okay? Or grab the sides here and pull that tight, and then it pulls that tight there for us, okay? So I just did this string here, so now I'm going to do the other side. Again, I'm going to pick up a rondelle, a spacer, 4 rondelles, 3, that's 4, I need a spacer, and then I need a rondelle. Okay. Again, I'll show you. That's what I just picked up. I'm going to let those fall down. Here they are. I'm going to take my string and I'm going to pass through this rondelle that my other string is coming out of. Okay, just the one, not two. And pull the string. So now we have this. So this is what I have so far. It looks kind of strange, but once you get going, it's going to make sense. Okay, it looks good. I'm going to continue. So after I complete the figure 8, what I have to do is pick up these large rondelles. One on each end. Slide those down. Pick up another little red rondelle. Slide that down. Okay. We have this. So again, I'm ready to make another figure 8. So again, I'm going to take one of the ends. I'm going to pick up a rondelle, spacer bead, 4 rondelles. There's 3. And here is number 4. Another spacer and a rondelle. And you want to check every time after you pick them up to make sure you picked up the right amount, because sometimes I accidentally pick up an extra one or it falls off. Okay, so I have this. Sliding these out of my way. I'm going to take my string and I'm going to pass through this rondelle right here. Pull that through and it makes a circle. Now I'm going to take the other string and make a circle with that. And sometimes you do have to make sure that your ends are the same length, because you might accidentally use the same string twice or 3 times or 4 times. Okay, so I just picked up a little rondelle and now I'm going to do my spacer and then 4 of these again. So I'm just repeating the pattern. There's 3, 4, here's my spacer bead and a rondelle. Okay, right there's my pattern. Sliding these down. They're on this side, so I'm going to take my end and pass through this bead here. Okay, and again I made another figure 8. And I'm just going to put my fingers in these 2 here, and pull them, and pull these working tails to make sure that it's tight. Okay, and it's tight. So now I'm going to continue on. So again, every time after I complete a figure 8, I'm going to pick up a rondelle on each end, and then I'm going to pick up my little red rondelle, crisscross through that, and then we are ready to do another figure 8. So I'm going to check and see if one of my strings are longer. Okay, one is longer, so I might have to use it twice so I don't run out of thread or string on one side. I don't know, I'll see how it goes. Okay, so I have my string. I'm going to pick up the same beads again, a little rondelle, a spacer, 4 rondelles. There's 2, 3, 4, a spacer, and a rondelle. Okay, this is what we have. Slide those down, pull this tight. I'm going to hold it like this. I have to take my string and pass through this bead. Okay, and it does help if you hold it tight with your fingers like this when you go to pass through it, because it doesn't loosen up. Okay, now I have to make another circle. So I have 1 rondelle, a spacer, and 2 there. I need 2 more. So 4 rondelles, a spacer, another rondelle, slide it down. Okay, I have to pass through the bead on this side now. Make my figure 8. Okay. And again, if you want, you can grab these sides here and pull your working tails at the same time to make sure it's tight. So I'm going to keep doing this. And the first time I did it, hopefully I won't lose any of those because I'll go as far as those beads will get me. The first time I did this, I think I had 9 of the blue rondelles on each side. So 9 on this side, and you flip it over, there's 9 on that side. Okay, I should have measured how long this is going to be. I forgot. Okay, so I just have my figure 8 there. I think I'm going to do this a few more times with you guys because I want to make sure you got it. If you get what I'm doing, you could just fast forward it. It's up to you. Okay, so I'm picking up the large rondelles again, sliding them down, and now I have to pick up my cross through bead, which is this little red rondelle. Bring that down, pull it tight, and now I have this. So my gold cords are going to slide into these holes, and the gold will be standing out through these gaps, and it's going to look really cool. It actually had an Egyptian look to me with its colors. It's very pretty. Okay, again, I'm going to make a figure 8. Let's see. Is one of my strings longer? This one is longer. I don't know if it's going to be a problem at the end or not. Probably not, because I've already done this and I didn't have a problem. Okay, so I'm picking up one rondelle. Again, we're repeating the same pattern. My spacer bead. 4 rondelles, the little ones. There's 2. There's 4. Another spacer. Another rondelle. Just like that. I'll slide these down. Again, I'll pull this tight and I'll hold it like this so it doesn't loosen up on me. And I'll take my string and I'll pass through this rondelle. Made a circle, just like that. Okay, turning this. I'm going to do this side now. Picking up a rondelle, spacer, 4 rondelles, 3, 4, spacer, and 1 more rondelle. Okay, looks like I got it all right. I'm going to pull this snug like this. Take my string and pass through this bead again. I'll pull, which one is it? This one tight. Okay, just like that, and then I'll pull this. So now I have this. Okay. So again, every time after you finish a figure 8, you have to pick up one of the big rondelles on each string. Slide those down, and then you pick up a rondelle, and you cross your ends through it. Just like that. Okay, I'm just going to do the figure 8 one more time, and I'll let you guys do it by yourself. So again, pick up the same sequence of beads, rondelle, spacer bead, 4 rondelles, there's 3, 4, spacer, and a rondelle. Just like that. I'm going to pull these strings tight, and we're going to hold it like this between my fingers. Okay, slide those beads down. I'm going to pass through this bead here, making a circle. I'm going to change my strings and do the same thing on this side. 1 rondelle, 1 spacer, 4 of these rondelles. There's 3, 4, a spacer, and a rondelle. Okay, again, I'll pull these 2 strings tight. I'll hold it like this between my fingers, and I'll pass my string through this side here, making a circle, just like that. Okay, now the next thing is to do again is to put a large rondelle on each string and then pick up a small rondelle and crisscross through it. So it's actually pretty easy to do. Keep going doing this weave, and I have to pay attention, and you might have to also if it gets too short on one side, you'll have to use the longer string, maybe one extra time more than your shorter string. I hope that made sense. Okay, so keep going doing this weave, and I'll come back and show you what to do next. So I kept on going, and I was right. I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 beads on each side. And I'm ready to tie my half hitch knots. And I have one string here that's wrapped tightly around my fingers, which is this string here. And this one here, when I let go of it, see how it's loose? So I'm going to tie a half hitch knot on this ring first, okay? And then I'll swap hands and I'll pull this one tight with that hand, and I'll tie a knot with my other string. So again, I'm making sure that I have this really tight, and I do. And I'm going to tie a knot right in this hole right there, okay? So I'm going to pass my string through this hole here. I have to make sure that I get it where I want it to go, which is right there. Okay, there's my loop. I'm gonna pass through this loop 2 times. Okay, and right there is where I want it to tie. So I'm gonna go ahead, pull that down. There it is, it's tight. Now I'm going to swap. I have a knot on this side, and now, let's see, where'd it go? I lost it, so I dropped it. Okay, now this one's loose. Yes. So now I have to tie a knot with this string. So I'm pulling that side tight, and with this string, I'm going to pull both of these tight. I'm going to tie a knot on this side. Again, I need to make sure that it's going to sit where I need it to be. Okay, I'll pass through there a second time and pull that down. Okay, so now I have a knot on this side and a knot on that side. So what I'm going to do is pass my string through this red bead, through this metallic spacer bead, tie a knot here, going through here, tie a knot there, going through there, tie a knot again, going through the next bead, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side, tying my knots. Now when you get done tying knots, I'll show you what to do next, so keep going. So I finished tying my knots, and now I just have to slide my cord on. I already glued the ends here so they're not unraveling anymore. They're hard. So I just push this on, and I have, let's see, make sure this is going right. Okay. So you just want to push it on down. The cords down through the loops that we made. One at a time, going back and forth. Pretty easy to do, so just keep going doing this. Once you push it through all the way to the other end, I'll show you what to do next. Okay, and this is what it looks like so far. It's really pretty. Okay, so now I'm ready to glue on my clasp, and it is supposed to go on like this. That's how it closes, so I have to make sure that I glue it on right. And also, when I cut these cords and I glued them in this end, I wasn't paying very good attention, and you could see that one's curving that way and one's curving this way. They have a natural curve to them because, you know, they're stored in a coil. So when you go to do yours, make sure that when you glue the end in, that the coil is naturally, you know, like this, like when the bracelet closes, you want it to have that natural curve like that when you glue your end in. So I'm going to try my best to turn this inward maybe. If I turn these inward just slightly, they'll have that curve to it. Something else I wanted to tell you guys. I almost did this as a necklace. This was my idea. I wanted to use this clasp because I've never used a clasp like this before. But I also thought that this could be a necklace if I go like this. Okay. One cord will become shorter, which is this one here. Okay. So what I would do, I would bend it like this, and I would cut the cords so they were even on both sides. And then I thought that I could take wire, 20 gauge wire. Now I would have to keep this shape in this because this is going to be my necklace. I would have to hold it so they were even and wrap the two cords together and make a loop at the top. And then I could string some beads onto it. But I thought that would be really cool as a necklace. And if you're watching this video and you're thinking, oh, I don't know if I want to do a bracelet, I would rather do a necklace, then there you go. That's how you would do a necklace. It would be really cool. I hope you understood what I was talking about. Okay, so now I'm going to glue my clasp on. I need to straighten this out because I was messing with it. I'm going to put a lot of glue in here. Because these are hollow, this can hold a lot of glue. Okay. So again, this goes on like that. So that means that I have to put it on this way. Okay. So I'm going to put these together just like this. Hold them together and put them inside. It helps if you squeeze them flat, by the way, with your fingernails. Push that in there. Okay, looks good. Now I'm going to let this dry, and if any glue comes out, you can fetch it. I have my bead all here. I'm just going to wipe it off. Wipe it onto a piece of paper. Okay, so I just have to let this dry, and it takes about 8 hours, I've noticed, for it to dry. I usually just let it dry overnight though, because I usually just bead at nighttime. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry, and actually I want to see what it's like. I'm going to try to put it on there. Oh, it's so pretty. I got some glue on here, I'll get it off, it's no problem, it's still wet. Okay, so that's what it looks like. It's really pretty. And I do have to slide this to this end here. There we go. This is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and like me on Facebook. And don't forget to share pictures of the jewelry you've made from my videos on my Facebook page, and follow me on Pinterest. Thanks for watching.